Yeah, welcome to this Chuks web page. Code like a script, ship like a binary. I'll be taking you through the tour. Here is the tour. And we have a playground where you can test out Chuks, syntax, and all. So here, for developers that prefer defining a main function, define a main function and Chuks will call it for you. Here's how to declare a variable. So you declare a variable with the type. You can give it an explicit type or let Chuks infer the type from the value. Yeah, so we have var age, int, var name, Alice, which is of type string, var score, which is of type float. You can see for the one of name and variable name and variable score, Chuks invert the types automatically. But for the type of age, the developer explicitly gave it a type, and when you run it, it gives you the expected results. So let's change the age. Instead of giving it an int, let's put a string down and see what will happen. So when we try that, we have type mismatch and assign. Expected int got strange. So these errors, Chuks throws the errors with the location where the error is happening. Chuks also has a constant. A const binding cannot be reassigned. Just like most of the programming language, once you have a const, it cannot be reassigned. Use it for values that should never change once set. So try uncommenting the last line and running it. The type character rejects the assignment before anything executes. Yeah, cannot assign to pi because it is a constant. So when we comment it and try to run it again, you see that we have the expected result. So const declarations cannot be changed. Over here we have variables and types and zero values. Chuks has the usual primitive types. We have the integer, the floats, the string, and the bool. So here you can declare a variable as a string, as an int, as a bool. So over the program, you can see we declared and have a class user with property of name, age, and active. So the property of name is as a string, property of age as an int, property of active as a boolean. I'll have the constructor. So and when we run it, we have the expected results. So feel free to try it out on your own. I mean, it makes it easier to learn. We have typed conversion, like you can say in typecasting. So can convert between types with the built-in functions int, float, string, and bool. Converting a float to an int truncates. So here, when we try it out to see how it works in Chuks, you can see that we typecast the decimal 3.9 into an int and it gave us 3. Float 42 remains 42. Int converting a string into an int gives us an int. Just give us the expected results. So we also have the data type, just as you have an interface in TypeScript. So in Chuks, it's called data types. Data type is a lightweight fields-only record, a fixed set of name typed fields with no methods. You create one with a typed mapped literal. So just the way you have an interface in TypeScript, that's the way Chuks have data types. Yeah, basically how you do it with TypeScript interface. That's how data types also works over here in Chuks. So we have a data type of user which has a property of ID whose value should be an int, and we have a property of name whose property should be of string, and we have a property of active whose property should be of a boolean. So that's actually how to define a data type in Chuks using the data type keyword with the name of the data type, and that's it. So when we have defined our data type, we can now create a user with it. So over here we have variable u, which is of data type user. So it's assigned to ID1, name Alice, and active true. So when we run it, we get the expected result. You can see from the print inline u.name Alice, string u just ID. You see the ID #1, and print in active string u.active still give us the boolean expected value. So that's it. So next we have the union types. So the union types is basically the way you use types in TypeScript. A union type declares a named union of two or more types. A value of that type holds any member. So over to the right, you can see we have a union type of ID, which can be a string or an int. So function describe ID, which will return a string. If type of ID is equals a string, return name string, else return number ID. So just basically the way you use your types, you can have a type that has values of string, integer, or float. So whichever one it is, you can make do with it. So here when we run it, we have the expected results. Next we'll look into the control flows, the if else, the if as an expression, compression and logic and all that.